Simon, good afternoon for you. Thank you very much for being with us at W Radio. We'd like to ask you, how were those days when you had to leave the band in 1982?
They're a long time ago now in the memory, and I think it was necessary up to a certain extent because Robert, Lowell and I had been sort of, we were very young, and we've been living in each other's pockets for 3 years, and we weren't mature enough to know how to react with each other, and we were all getting a bit carried away with too much drink and everything like that, and I do believe that things were coming to a head, and it was necessary. I don't think, if I wouldn't have left then, I wouldn't be in the band now, because it brought a realisation and a different insight into what the band means. And when Robert asked if I'd come back, I approached it with a different view, where before that I was getting a bit cynical about it. I came back with a fresh approach, and I enjoyed it more.
Simon, do you remember the day when you met Robert? We'd like to know how was that moment when you met him and you guys decided to join this band and finally give birth to The Cure.
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, Robert and I have known each other a long time. I mean, his elder brother knew my brothers, and we sort of, even though we lived in different towns, Robert and I would see each other at gigs, and we sort of knew we'd like each other, so we gravitated towards each other, and we started to hang out. And I was in a band before The Cure, and we used to play concerts with The Cure, and I used to go and see The Cure in my spare time. You know, Robert and I were just really good friends, and we always used to talk about that he'd really like me to join the band, and just to think they'd done their first tour after releasing Three Imaginary Boys, and Robert just came round to my parents' house one night and said, you know, we'd really like you to join. So I left work and joined the next day.
Simon, you had, you were talking to us about this experience that you had of going out of the band and having a different approach of the band. So probably you're the right person to ask this question. Do you think The Cure was a band that was meant to be successful no matter what, or that success is something that was built with the years and probably also around the image, the eccentric image of Robert Smith?
I think, see, that's not an image with Robert. That's actually how he looks, you know, when he's not in the band. You know, he looks like that. So it's not a contrived image in any way. But I think the band would have succeeded because we were we persevered a lot. You know, it's like, looking back, it's quite remarkable how much we toured. And we weren't just happy to stay in Britain and Europe. We wanted to go further afield. Like the first times we went to Australia, we were only meant to be there for 3 days, but we sort of had enough money to explore the outback and go a bit further. And we always had an ambition to reach further afield. I think one of the rewards of that perseverance is that we did become successful. I still consider us like an underground band in lots of ways, that we're not like, I don't know, U2 or somebody like that, or Coldplay. You know, we go to the shops and things like that, and nobody knows who we are or anything like that. Obviously they do, Robert, but the rest of us mainly, we can do what we want. And I think it was that we actually liked being with each other, and we liked one another's company, and we liked playing, and we liked actually being in The Cure and travelling. So it was just one of those happy coincidences that the success came.
Simon, we'd like to ask you about Latin American rock, and if you ever had the chance to meet or to listen to an Argentinian band, Soda Stereo, because they were at the beginning of their careers during the 80s. They were inspired in your aesthetics and the looks of The Cure and Robert Smith. Were you ever able to listen to their music or to Latin American rock at all?
into Latin America, we try to listen to as much as possible. Obviously, when you're touring like that, it's hard, but we've always tried to have local bands support us wherever we go in Latin America. And, we intend to do that again in the future.
Simon, the last time that the Cure album was released was almost 10 years ago, and we'd like to know where we're going to be able to listen to new material, to a new album, to new songs from the Cure.
Yeah, well, we've got two things in the pipeline, really. We have got an album that we did record concurrently with the last album that was released, and we wanted to finish that off really with Reeves playing on a bit, but we've also got another new batch of songs which we've taken a summer break, so we're not going to see each other over the summer, but in September we're going to get together and listen to each other's songs and talk about the future and talk about recording, because it has been too long, and obviously that's part of the fun of it. And we've always got songs coming out, it's a very sort of creative band in that way, and it's basically, the problem is sometimes that we have too many songs, so that we can have like 40, 50, 60 songs. So it's actually, because Robert writes the lyrics to them, we have to sit down and he has to sort of listen to our different demos and he can say, well, I can write lyrics to that, or I can't write lyrics to that, or we use that as a B-side or something like that. So it's just sitting down and sifting through the songs, sifting through the demos, and finding out what would suit best. And also it has to be a coherent sort of mood. We can't just have a bunch of random songs. So it's not the writing of the song so much that's difficult and that's kept us from doing it. I mean, we did slow down a lot 6 years ago, and we didn't intend to really do anything, but I think we realised that, once it was finished, it was finished. So we're starting to pick up more again now. We're starting to be, we've done a couple of concerts this year, and they were really good fun. So, we're going to have a meeting in September, and we're going to work out what plans we've got for the future, and, we're definitely recording, yes.
Simon, thank you for your time, and don't forget to bring your band to Colombia, South America.
We will. We'll most definitely be back.
Bye-bye, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you.